Hello friends, myself Dr. Ruchi Patel, working as an assistant professor at LJ College of Physiotherapy. Today I am going to take first year topic, that is resisted exercises. First, we'll see the definition. Resisted exercises is any form of active exercises in which dynamic or static muscle contraction is resisted by an outside force applied manually or mechanically. For resisted exercises, we should know the difference of strength, endurance, and power. First of all, we'll see what is the strength. It is the ability of the contractile tissue to produce the tension and the resultant force based on the demand placed on the muscle. So, during the resisted training, particularly for the strength training, will give heavy loads for relatively a low number of repetitions or over a shorter period of time. Whereas endurance is the ability to perform low intensity, repetitive or sustained activities for a prolonged period of time. So for the endurance training will give many repetition or a sustained muscle contraction for an extended period of time. Here we'll give low intensity exercises, means the load which we use, that is minimal amount of, but the repetition of the exercises will be maximum. Whereas power is the work produced by the muscle per unit of time. So for the power training will give the greater intensity of the exercises, means maximum amount of load that the person can take, that will provide, and will ask the person to perform in a shorter period of time. So for the power training, greater the intensity of the exercises and shorter the time period taken to generate the force, and the greater the muscle power will generate. Types of resisted exercises: manually and mechanical resisted exercises. Manual resisted exercises, the resistance which can be given by the therapist, some other medical person or medical professional person, relatives and friends. The resistance can also be applied by the patient himself with the help of opposite extremity, and this will be helpful for the home exercises as well. Whereas mechanical resisted exercises, in which mechanical devices are used to oppose the active movements of the muscle, and that is why it is called as mechanical resisted exercises. So how we can give mechanical resisted exercises? By using the weight cuffs, with the help of spring, with the help of pulleys, with the help of water, therabands, suspension therapy, dumbbells, and substances which are malleable. So consideration for the selection of modes for the resisted exercises means which type of resisted exercises we should give to the patient, whether the manual or mechanical. So it totally depends on the following points. First of all, the cause and extent of primary and secondary impairment, deficits in the muscle performance, the stages of muscle healing or the tissue healing, then condition of the joints and the tolerance of compression and movements, availabilities of the equipments, general physical cognitive abilities of the patients, then patient's goal and functional outcomes of the program. We can increase the resistance by altering the following points, that is by altering the leverage, by increasing the weight, by altering the speed, and by changing the duration. Uses of resisted exercises: it helps to increase the strength of the muscle, it helps to increase the endurance of the muscle, as well as it helps to increase the muscle power. First of all, the resistance by the physiotherapist, usually applied in the line of movement, and the physiotherapist's hand is placed on the surface of the skin which is in the direction of the movement. The physiotherapist stance is very important factor to avoid the waste of effort and to provide a smooth control pressure. The resistance varied according to the variation in the power in different parts of the muscles range. Here, the person or the therapist is giving resistance for the knee flexion movement, whereas in the next figure, the therapist is providing the resistance for the hip flexion movement. The resistance by the patient. Patient can resist with his own movements with the help of sound limb or by using his own body weight. And this type of resistance is convenient but tends to unreliable as it cannot be measured or felt by the therapist, and it requires careful instructions and cooperation of the patients. In this figure, we can see the knee extension movement is resisted by the right extremity about the by right lower extremity. Resistance by the weight. The direct application of the weight to the body forms a simple and effective method of resisted exercises. So apparatus requires are commonly sandbags, metal weights, medicine ball, etc. And it is essential that the means of attachment should be comfortable and efficient. Lifting a weight held in the hand or attached to the foot or throwing a medicine ball are common examples of resistance which are provided by the weight. And it is also used in progressive resisted exercise training. In this diagram, you all can see the resistance is provided with the help of pulley. In the second, the weight cup has been tied for the lower extremity exercises and here for the upper limb. The spring exercises, TheraBand exercises for different part of the body has been given here. Here again, the person is performing resisted exercises with the help of TheraBands, same for the upper extremity and lower extremity. The resistance by the substance which are malleable. So we can provide the clay, some kinds of wax, then wet sands, putty. These all exercises are the are helps for the strengthening and mobilizing the hand. Here, the person is performing the exercises with the help of wet towel. The resistance by the water. As water has buoyancy and that helps us to provide the resistance. So what are the techniques for the resisted exercises? So we should know about the starting position. And of course, this position should be comfortable and it should be a very stable position for the patient and for the therapist. Pattern of the movement. This must be well known by the patient and can be demonstrated priorly. The stabilization. Manual pressure or strap must be used to ensure the movement at the required joint. Means to avoid the accessories movement or to avoid the trick movement, we'll use manual pressure with the help of our another hand, or we can provide the stabilization with the help of straps. Traction. It maintains throughout the range to facilitate the joint movement and to maintain the tension of the muscle. The resisting force that varies according to the requirement. If the person is in the initial stage of healing, will give the manual resistance. For the progression of the resisted exercises, will provide the resistance by the mechanical means. The character of movement. The movement should be smooth and controlled throughout, and the effort involved commanding the patient's full attention. So, without the patient's full attention, the resisted exercises will not be performed successfully. So, both therapist and patient continuous attention is required. Repetition. Number of time a muscle are thrown to the for the movement and that depends on the training, whether our purpose is to improve the strength, our purpose is to improve endurance or power, and that depends on the age as well. If for the older age of person we are treating, then we'll provide low resistance but high repetitions, whereas to build up the power, or in the case of the sports person training, will give high resistance, low repetitions. And of course, cooperation of the patient, that is the most important part. Here we have principles of the resisted exercises, that are overload principle, set principle, reversibility principle, and transfer of training. So overload principles, it suggests that we should increase progressively the load, we should increase the progression of the exercises in the manner of whether by increasing the weight or resistance, by increasing or by changing the sets or frequency, or by changing the repetitions. If any one or more of which can be gradually adjusted to increase the demand on the muscle. If muscle performance is to improve, a load that exceeds the metabolic capacity of the muscle must be applied. If the demands remains constant after the muscle has adapted, the level of muscle performance can be maintained but not increased. Means, suppose if we are providing the 1 kg resistance exercises with the dumbbells, and if we are asking the patient to perform that continuously for the 1 week, 2 week, initially might be it will be difficult for the person to perform that exercises. But after the practice, that becomes easy and muscle will get adapt. Now, if we are not increasing the resistance, then the muscle performance can be maintained, but it won't increase. So, depending on the training or depending on the goal which we want, whether the strength improvement, endurance improvement, or power, we have to increase the uh, resistance or repetitions or sets. The second is the set principle, specific adaptation to impose demand. And this is working on the base of Wall's flow. And it says body system adapts over the time to the stress placed on them. Means our training should be specific. If our goal is to improve the stair climbing of the person, or our goal is to achieve stair climbing for the patient, then we'll give repetition of that particular exercises. And by the practice, the motor learning will become, the motor learning will be there, and because of that, the person will perform stair climbing very easily. So the Wolff's law says that body system adapts over the time to the stress placed on them. By repeating movement, the body system will get adapt for that particular movement. Reversibility, it is saying that detraining reflected in the reduction of the muscle performance. So once your training has been over, the person should start daily activity as early as possible. I have taken this topic from the Principle of Exercise Therapy by Dina Gardin and by Therapeutic Exercises of Kisner Kohli. So for the further detail, you all can refer this two books. Thank you.